So we roll, using procurement, program and control. As a small biz pro, so we grow, using procurement, program and control. I'm a businessman, yes, I'm an entrepreneur. Oh yeah, I'm a businessman, yes, I'm an entrepreneur. Oh yeah, I'm a businessman, yes, I'm an entrepreneur.
Hello, everyone. This is the Business Zone. Good afternoon. I am Gilbert Buchanan, your small business paramedic, along with
Crystal Mitchell,
your DNA small business accounting specialist.
Just Crystal.
So, Crystal, how are you doing today?
I am good. It's been warm, but other than that, it's good. How about yourself?
Oh man, I've been indoors for the last 5 days, and even though I haven't been outside, I can still feel the heat on the inside. And my AC is running full blast, and I still feel it.
Yeah, it's been pretty intense, right? We with all the stuff going on with COVID and all of those lovely things, who in the heck would think that we now have to deal with some extra heat, right?
Man, I'm thinking that 2020 is one of the worst years on record right now for the country, for individuals, for everyone.
You know what? And it's so interesting because I was coaching someone the other day, and I was telling them that everybody was so excited for 2020, right?
I know.
Remember in 2019, everybody was just so ecstatic to get out of 2019 and to get into 2020 because they just knew that it was just going to be awesome and all of these great things were going to happen and whatever was the bad luck that we had in that other that's all gone, and this is going to be an incredible life. So the first 3 months, the first 2 months, everyone was super excited, had all these plans. I know I was booked up until June with coaching. I was just ready, right? We all were just ready. And then March 15th came, and that was it for 2020.
Oh, man. So March 15th was the burial of 2020. 2020 only lived for 3 months.
And it has been all downhill ever since.
I remember I was all excited. It's like being in a room full of all kinds of people, and you see another room and you're going, oh, I'm going to step into that room over there because that room is going to be much better. But it's not.
It has had I can't even keep up with today. We are the president is at war with the U.S. Post Office. Yes. I mean, who would have thought? He's at war with General Motors. Who would have thought? He's at war with the American people.
Yeah, that is so unbelievable, man. Unbelievable. You would imagine that the president is supposed to be looking out for everything American. All the companies, all its people, all the products and services that we produce and provide. But instead, he pick and chooses which ones he wants to support and which ones he wants to condemn.
Right, exactly. And so basically, he's at war with the American people.
Wow, that is unbelievable, man.
I mean, every day you turn on the news. Yesterday, Steve Bannon was arrested. What else went down yesterday? Oh, well, we did have some highlights. I think. Did you see any of the DNC conference? Conference online.
Oh yeah. I saw it yesterday.
Yeah, Barack Obama makes us wish that we were back in 2018.
Yeah.
2016,
Yeah.
2008. So he was awesome. Uh, we have to congratulate Kamala. She is now the first Black woman to be a
Vice
VP
President candidate. Yeah.
candidate. So that's pretty awesome. So those were some highlights.
And I like the fact that they highlighted the women, the contributions of women in the society, in Congress, in business. I like that because not too many people talk about that. And you know how I feel about women entrepreneurs already.
Right.
I feel like they're coachable. They're
Yes.
willing to learn, they can make differences, and they band together. And that's what we need. We need small businesses and entrepreneurs and people who can band together and make difference. And that's what the women bring to the table. You see what I'm saying? Well, that's not just it, so. But that's part of what they bring to the table.
That's part of and I think they also bring to the table, Gilbert. I was born or raised by a single mom. I think you may as well. And you just saw the balance that women bring, especially to chaos, right?
Yeah.
They just bring a balance, a common sense.
Right.
And I think that's just where we need that right now.
Right. And they recognize that they can't do everything, so they're willing to delegate to others. See, men don't really do that.
and their egos are not in the way. So I'm looking forward to it, and also Biden. Now I feel for me, Biden we have Obama on the backside of Biden, and so I'm comfortable with Biden. So I'm good with that. And right now, I take a kangaroo as the president myself.
You will take a rule over the current occupant.
And then the current occupant is talking about not leaving. So now we're gonna have to go in with the military and everybody.
He's just talking crazy because he knows what he's saying is crazy. He knows come January 20th, if he's not the winner, come January 20th, it's automatic. The new president kicks in with his authority. So the Secret Service is not going to be backing the old occupant anymore. He knows that. He's just running his mouth, to see how many people listen to his nonsense.
It's like living on steroids every day.
It's like renting your house to a drug addict, right? And you're trying to evict them, and you don't really know what they're gonna do, at any given moment. They're gonna start claiming stuff that doesn't belong to them. You're trying to evict them. You got the marshals and everybody.
You're gonna have all the marshals, the Homeland Security, all the military branches. Kind of be one tenant.
So you're trying to evict this drug-induced psychopathic person out of your property, and you're going, well, we got to try to do it carefully because he might decide to destroy my bathroom or destroy my kitchen before he goes.
Spoken like a true landlord. Oh Lord have mercy! You just have to laugh. Hey Jasandra, hey Glam, welcome to the Business Zone with Crystal and Gilbert, and I see you're watching on YouTube. So we would love for you to go over there and hit that subscribe button and the notification button, so you'll know that we're here every Friday afternoon from 3 p.m. To 4, and talking about fun, exciting things. And right now, these two co-hosts and broadcasters are looking forward to November 3rd.
Oh yeah, definitely. I'm really looking forward to that day. when the programs that support small businesses are back again. Those programs are recognized and enhanced, and which leads to our next point, Crystal, which is Proposition 16, which is on the ballot. For those of you who don't know anything about Proposition 16, we really want you guys to go online and search it out. Go to Wikipedia, go to Google, go wherever you need to go to look it up. And what Proposition 16 is, it's a proposition that's been put on the ballot. So on November 3rd, you get to vote on it in the general election. And what it is, Proposition 16 is asking Californian voters to amend the Constitution of California to repeal a 1996 proposition called Proposition 209. What Proposition 209 did, it prohibits the state from discriminating against or granting preferential treatment to businesses like yourself, small minority businesses who were being dispossessed and being treated real poorly by the system. So we couldn't get opportunities that would otherwise be entitled to us. So we were never on an even playing field. We were on a playing field with a lot of obstacles, a lot of pit holes, a lot of barriers, a lot of hurdles, while the other guys were on a playing field where there's no obstacle, things were smooth, and they can easily finish their race. So that's what this is. Think of Proposition 16 that way. That Proposition 16, it evens the playing field. It gives us some opportunities. So we're starting from behind, but Proposition 16 helps us to really give us some resources so we can cope with all the barriers and the obstacles we have to deal with.
And exactly. And in addition to, and so for those of us that are doing certification, minority contracts, and now, there's been some barriers for just being able to do business on the same platform that everybody else is doing. Education, making sure our kids are getting the best education, making sure we're getting the best health care. And that's really what we're fighting for right now. That's what Black Lives Matter is fighting for, is equal opportunities for everyone, but specifically people of color, Black people, because, historically, we have been in the background, in the backseat, and there's a lot of systemic problems that have prevented us from moving forward. So it's very important. So as you guys can see, I have my countdown calendar. I have been counting down for the last 90 days. So we are at day 73. We got 8 hours, 47 minutes, and 3 seconds before election day. So if you're,
I love it.
you like that, right?
I love it.
So if you're 18 and above, we need you to get to a poll. We need you to register right now. I do know that you're going to have your real ID or your real driver's license. And if I know it's crazy at the DMV, but you can also make sure you have your passport or the passport card. That will also give you opportunities to vote. Here in the state of California, it may be a little bit easier for us than other states, and we are well aware of that. But know that the war on the post office is to keep you from voting. And that's really is all about. So vote early when you get your mail-in ballot, which is also synonymous with your absentee ballot, is one and the same thing. Don't get that twisted. Get that in as early as possible. I believe they're saying soon as you get it in the mail, turn around and put it back in. And if you can't get to a post office, take it to your local registrar office, where you would go to register to get married, where you would go to register the birth of your children, where you would go to register. So every city there is a county registrar office. So take it and drop it right there in the box, or take it to a polling place. Actually, a good idea is for you to caravan. If someone can't, maybe that's what we can do for the seniors that can't get there. get their mail-in ballot, and somebody trustworthy take it into a facility. But make sure you're registered. Make sure you validate your registration. There's a link on for making sure. So go to, for us in Los Angeles and California, is the lavote.gov to make sure that you are registered to vote. Don't do anything strange like changing addresses while you're moving. If you moved already and you didn't change it, don't change nothing. Just go vote wherever you were. And as a guy said yesterday, Gilbert, if we got to walk across fire, water, sleet, snow, let's get to the polls.
That's right. That's right. Our great grandparents did it, so we should be able to do the same thing too. Yes, yes.
Exactly.
And when Crystal mentioned to get your correct ID, really what she's saying is make sure you get your government issued ID, the one with a picture on it and an expiration date. You take that one because they're going to tell you that whatever you take is not correct. So if it's a government issued, like your driver's license, your passport, or any other government issued, if you're in the military, you have your military ID or something to that effect. That's what you take with you. And what I would do, Crystal, I would take more than one just in case, because we don't trust these guys. We don't trust them. They're gonna try to make up the rule and change the rule as we go along. So even though you have an ID, they may say, "Oh, we don't want a driver's license. We want to see a passport." Okay, all right, we have that too. Here it is. So make sure you take everything you possibly can.
Your birth certificate, your utility bill, whatever. Just come prepared. Bring a backpack full of stuff. And some water if you got to wait line long. Some comfortable tennis shoes, your blanket, your chair, whatever you got to bring. Just make sure you get to the polls. That's all.
Because really, what we're trying to do right now, we're trying to reclaim some privileges. In essence, we're trying to reclaim privilege because the privileges are shifted to the other side, and a lot of people on the other side are benefiting from this. They have their privilege card. So once they show that privilege card, they get all the privileges they can get. They get put to the front of the line. They get all these loans that they don't need. They get low interest rate on their loans. So we don't have that. So by voting for Proposition 16 is going to help you to start gaining back some of those privileges that they took from you. Okay, so keep that in mind. Do your research. You don't have to take our word for it. Do your research, read up about it. But in 1996, they removed that opportunity in California, so we don't get the privileges anymore.
Exactly. So we just want to emphasize that. And as some of our comments on YouTube, Jasandra says, be prepared, whatever that takes. Miss Rhonda has tapped in. She's chatting with us today, and she says, "Hey, Gilbert and Crystal." And Mike says, "Greetings," and we welcome all of you to the Business Zone. So we want to. So today, guys. So I'm going to stop sharing my clock. You will see my clock back next week. It's important to show my clock. But we're excited today because we have some guests. We had some amazing guests last week, but we have some more guests on the show today, and we have some additional winners that were participating in the Los Angeles BizCamp and Institute from last, and we had some amazing young entrepreneurs last week, and so today we have two more. They were also winners, and so we want to introduce them, and we want them to talk about their experience and their products, and I'm just so excited, as you guys know from last week, and just for me talking about this. This is a program that's very near and dear to me, and youth entrepreneurship is extremely important, and that's why we have to go vote, right? Gilbert, we have to make sure that we're preparing this world for our children, and that, some of the opportunities that we had growing up, that they will be there for these young people. So with that being said, I am going to invite in my two guests. Sanaa Ballard. She won third prize for the BizCamp, LAUL 2020 Virtual BizCamp. And we also have Miss Winter Chambers. She won the first, it was a one prize for them. And so she, for the Biz Institute. So we're excited and welcome both of you here. Hi, ladies. How are you?
I'm good. Hi.
I'm good.
Welcome, ladies, to the Business Zone. Now, you guys have something that many other young entrepreneurs don't have. You guys have Miss Rhonda and Miss Crystal as your coaches, and they've been guiding you guys, providing you guys with quality information. So, congratulations on your win, and welcome to the Business Zone.
Thank you.
Yeah. So tell me, go ahead, Gilbert. Go ahead,
So,
Gilbert.
Winter, Miss Winter, I know you.
Yes, you're one of the guest speakers.
Yes, Miss Winter was on one of the previous shows that we did, and she was phenomenal. And I'm gonna jump right into it. I'd like you to introduce yourself to the world because the world is watching right now. So, in essence, today, what you're being today, you're being an entrepreneur, and you're being like a mentor to many of the other small businesses out there who are just trying. So, I want you to put that hat on today. You're an entrepreneur and you're also a mentor. So introduce yourself, tell the world about your business and what is it that you do. Go ahead, Winter.
Okay, so my name is Winter Chambers. I'm almost 16 years old. And this summer, or in the summer of 2018, I created a business named Generation Z Wealth Developer, which is actually a service that helps guide youth into getting into the habit of saving and investing so that ultimately they can become financially literate and successful investors. So this summer I worked with the Urban League and the LA Urban League Biz Institute with Miss Rhonda and Miss Crystal. Just helped me further expand my business and actually trying to get it up and started by the end of the year, hopefully.
Okay. Excellent.
So there's another so Miss Winter, as you mentioned, Gilbert, she won in this camp, 2 years ago, Winter? Yeah. And what's phenomenal about Winter at her young age, because I believe you're how old now, 16?
I'm 15 right now.
15. So you were actually 13 and a half, about 14 years old when you came to Biz Camp the first time?
Yeah. Yep.
So here was this young lady that had a grasp on how important financial literacy is for young people. And so that was her business idea then, was creating a platform or an app or so that they could teach them how the importance of money, how money works. I think you even talked about investments and things like that. So tell me, Winter, what started, what created, what was the idea or the inspiration behind the birth of your product?
The main thing that was the inspiration behind the birth of my product was when I graduated from 8th grade, my parents and family members, of course, gave me small amounts of money, and they're like, this is adding up to $500, almost $1,000. You don't need that to be sitting in the bank. So they actually encouraged me to invest it, and those stocks are just growing right now, so that later on in life, I'll maybe could go back to them and maybe get some profit off of them. So after that, my parents were encouraging me, you're not the only kid who has money from birthdays or Christmases or even an allowance or a job that doesn't need to just be sitting in the bank. And many people don't know that instead of spending your money on a pair of tennis shoes, you could actually be growing it and making enough money to buy 3 pairs of tennis shoes at the end of the day. So I felt like it was necessary for other people to know it. And my parents always tell me, certain tools I wish I would have learned when I was younger. So after my parents kind of told me about that, it was kind of the light for me to make this happen.
I love that mindset.
Are you not impressed?
I am so impressed. When there's so many kids out there now who the first $100 they get, they want to go buy sneakers, but you're viewing this differently. You're looking at the future. You're looking at enhancement, self-sufficiency, growing that money. Oh, I love that. I love it. I love it.
Just so impressed with a young person thinking so forward, and and to have investments at the age of 16.
Yes. She probably have more money than I did when I was 16.
Yeah. Well, definitely a different mentality. I wasn't thinking investments at that age. I might have my little piggy bank, but it was, but it was not in a brokerage account. Trust me.
I love it. I love it. And the thing I love about this is, she can be a mentor to so many other small and young entrepreneurs. As a matter of fact, you're teaching classes, right? Do you teach classes, Winter?
I'm trying to get the curriculum so I can start teaching.
Oh no, I think Crystal, I think we should help her to get started in this training program so she can start teaching the other young entrepreneurs. What do you think?
Well, yeah, and that's one of the things that what we're doing is so BizCamp and BizInstitute, or BizInstitute is the growth, the next level to BizCamp. And so Winter and number of all of the kids that were in summer camp will now be moved into BizInstitute. And the sole purpose of that is to actually get their businesses launched, make sure their foundations are set up, all of their the legalities and the structures and the accounting structures are set up, and then the marketing structure. So we're going to be inviting our professionals and from the community that came out and spoke to the kids as business coaches to come back and talk with the kids and help them. And then they're going to be competing in other competitions in order to raise capital to run their businesses. So before we go on talking about the program, let's now talk to Miss Sanaa. And Sanaa, tell us about yourself and your business.
So hi, my name is Sanaa Bellard. I'm 14 years old. My business is SBC Hair. It's a hair care line focused on the growth of hair. And yeah, I started, I joined BizCamp. Like all I had was an idea. I didn't know. I just knew I wanted to start a hair care line because like I always liked dealing with hair and stuff. And so when I went to BizCamp, I like focused on like what kind of hair, what I want to do, basically.
So,
how did you hear about BizCamp, Sanaa?
My dad knows Miss Crystal.
Oh, okay.
And he took a business class from her.
Very good. Very good. See, Crystal, your reputation is getting out there. That's good.
I know. Yeah, her father is one of my coachees. He's also an entrepreneur, and he's in the health and wellness, and he's a real estate broker, and so when I told him about the program, he was excited for his daughter to participate. So this question is to both of you. What were your takeaways from BizCamp and BizInstitute that you feel will help you in your adult life? Either one of you can jump right on in there.
Oh, I'll go first.
Okay.
So one of the biggest takeaways that I probably got from BizCamp and BizInstitute was to never wait on trying to do something, because in many workforces and even outside of BizCamp, it's taught go to school, go to college. Then if you want to prefer to start your own business or launch something, then you'll have the base and I guess fallback to be able to do something else. Well, in this program, it's encouraged to do everything right now. Like there's no point in waiting. You can start whenever and you can start now. That's probably the biggest takeaway that I got. Okay.
And Sanaa?
Just like what Winter was saying, like it's never too late. Like when I first started thinking about my business, I was thinking about doing it like when I get older, but then when I came to BizCamp, I saw all these young entrepreneurs and it really motivated me.
Good, right. You don't have to wait. There are entrepreneur young people like yourself who actually have their parents working for them and they're running businesses while they're going to school. They already have money to pay for college. And I think the most important thing, I believe, is that you will be real clear. And Winter, you can address this because you're about a couple years away from college. Now you have a real clear idea what you want to do when you go to college, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I know exactly what I want to do and what I want to major in.
Right.
How about you, Sanaa? Do you know what you want to do when you go to college?
Yeah, I've always wanted to start my own business, but I never knew what I wanted to do. So now I know I want to have my own hair care line.
So Sanaa, let me ask you this question. Your clientele, what's the age range of your clientele? Are they kids like your age or they're adults? You know, who are your clients?
My clients are majority adults because when I was like researching,
because they can afford to pay, right?
Yeah.
But if they jump into Winter's program, they will have some investment money, some dividend money that they might be able to splurge on your product, right, Dib?
Right. Yeah.
I love it.
So what was the best part of the program for you guys?
You should go.
Okay, I'll go. The best part of the program for me, I would say, it would be like the guest speakers because they really helped me, and my I don't know what it's called, but at the end we had like our business coaches that helped us work on our presentation. Like the lady that was helping me, she really helped me. Like I feel like if I didn't have her, I would not have that presentation together how it was.
Okay, all righty. Winter.
So do you guys still have your pitch decks, that you use for your presentation? Do you still have that?
Yes.
Okay, because that's a tool that you want to keep improving on every day. You want to keep building it. Like for example, the section that speaks about your client, your target client, your target market, you want to keep enhancing that and refining it, because you may have your clients being in an age group of 15 to 65, but you find that's too wide of a group. So then at some point you may want to narrow it down and say 15 to 49, and then you want to justify why it's 15 to 49. Is what I mean? Mm-hmm. Just like I asked you earlier, if it's because they can pay, if that's the reason, then hey, that's the reason. See what I mean?
Yeah, Miss Rhonda indicated that yes, she agrees if they're in Winter's program, so you guys can work together. In fact, Winter, you could probably corral everyone that was in BizCamp and BizInstitute and bring them into your program. That'd be your initial clients. And she said you can target young people, because I think it's really important for young people to have the same mentality and the understanding that you have at your young age. Sanaa, Ms. Rhonda wants to know do you remember who your coach was? What was her name?
I think it was like Bracy.
Bracy Fuentes. So Bracy works with Nifty. She is absolutely awesome. She has the same passion that myself and Ms. Rhonda has about youth entrepreneurship, and she works with the kids at some of the schools with Nifty. So you were blessed. Your coach is right on point. So I'm sorry, Winter, what was your what did you take? What was the favorite part of the program for you?
I have to say also having those different mentors to actually work through the slides with me during the last couple of weeks, because it was really helpful for me to actually understand a different point of view. And each day I was actually able to complete certain parts of my project that I wasn't even planning on completing at that point. So that was probably my favorite part, along with presenting at the end. That was pretty fun. Not as fun as being up on the stage, but it was still felt very much like I was on a stage, which is cool.
And that brings me to a point. So Winter actually participated in our live program. We were at KIP Academy, I believe. And that program was pretty interesting because our young ladies were very mature. And our boys, on the other hand, weren't quite as mature. So we literally had to split the room in boys and girls. And it was like this competition. We knew the girls were just going to blow these guys out the water, but they wouldn't stop fooling around. And so it was a given that they were going to place. And the boys, we struggled with them the whole entire. That was a 2-week camp versus the 30-day camp. So, so what was so it was exciting because we did it at Southwest, and that's you go to high school. That I go to. Yeah, we did and so she presented on a full stage with a full audience. And so, what was the difference between competing virtually and live?
I would have to say it was a little bit less, I guess, intimidating, because being in the classroom presenting every day, it was a little bit more nerve-wracking versus talking to your screen, and you can't even see half the people that are on there. So it was just a little bit less, I guess, intimate, you should say.
Right.
You know, that's a good point you brought up, because as an entrepreneur, you're always going to be pitching. You're always going to be presenting, presenting your idea, pitching your product or your services to your customers or to investors. So that's going to be a really, really good skill to develop. So that's great that you guys are getting that training.
And I was so impressed with this group of young people. One, they were really excited and enthusiastic about being in the program. But one of the things Miss Rhonda and I did, made sure when we were interviewing that, one, they recognized the value of what was about to happen, as far as, competing for capital for their business or competing for the prize. But they actually made pretty good money. So now, Winter, I know you have to say that sales day was it was so much more exciting virtually than it was in live, right?
Definitely. It was a lot more sales.
So how much money did you make on your total sales after it was all said and done?
All in total, I made about $900 versus in 2018, I only made I think $300. So it was a lot. It was a lot more money this time.
How about you, Sanaa? How much did you make?
I made $160. Not that much.
Okay.
And what were you selling, Sanaa?
I did dog walking.
Oh, right.
Oh.
Which I think was very clever.
Well, probably part of the reason why you didn't make more is because of this COVID, right? This COVID thing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that kind of slowed things down. But perhaps if you were selling your product, I don't know if you have any hair care products, but if you had that and you were selling that, maybe that would have sold a lot more too, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
So
Go
one
ahead,
of the things we want to do was, because we thought they did so incredibly well with virtual sale day, that is going to be something, even when we go back to live classes, we will be doing virtual. So Ms. Rhonda wants to know, are the two of you still selling your products past sale day? No.
You should.
I am.
Should. Yeah, you should.
Yeah.
Because remember, when it comes time for you guys to go to college, you don't want to take out a loan. You don't want your parents to get in debt trying to get a loan to pay your student loan or anything. If you can generate some revenues out of this business, this can really help to pay for your college.
Well, we're telling our audience now that the Los Angeles Urban League still has on their website you guys' logos. And so if you're still interested in selling your product and taking in orders, you can go to the laul.org website and place your order for these two young ladies. And what was the name of your businesses?
Mine was Sweets by Winter.
So Sweets by Winter. And Miss Sanaa?
I think it was dog walking by Sanaa.
Okay. So a person can go get there and you can get your exercise while you're still walking dogs before you guys go back to school, right? And you can still sell your sweets and move and forward. So are both of you planning on participating in Biz Institute past? I mean, when we started back up in September, it won't be every day. It will be probably twice a month, and then we're gonna have some ongoing master classes where just webinars and seminars will be inviting in like Mr. Gilbert over here. In fact, Gilbert is going to do our very first one. He's going to help you get your businesses legally set up, making sure that it's registered with the city and the county and all the things that you need to do. So are you both anticipating participating in those programs?
Yes.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, and then we're going to be bringing whatever you need to get that business off and running. We're going to be bringing those individuals to you so that you have all the expertise coaching that you need just to get your businesses started. And then Miss Rhonda and I are working on something really exciting in November for Global Entrepreneur Week, really highlighting all of our young entrepreneurs and making sure that the world knows that you guys are out there with your business. We're really excited. And this is just something, and Miss Rhonda was on the show last week and she's chatting with us right now. But I tell you, Gilbert, you know me, right? I enjoy coaching all my adults, but my kids, I tell you, just watching them grow. I mean, I'm sitting here. Winter was a little tiny thing 2-3 years ago. Still had this bright, big idea, but she was still a little tiny thing. Sanaa was kind of shy in the beginning. And then somewhere halfway through, she just broke out. And she had this great idea. So just to watch them blossom like flowers is just an amazing experience. And and do you guys feel like an entrepreneur now?
Yeah.
Now, let me ask you guys this. As entrepreneurs who's been in the industry for over 20 years, Crystal and I, and you guys are just starting out, is there any questions that you guys have for us that you would like to have answered that could help you on your journey? Any one of you?
No questions come to mind right now.
Yeah, me neither.
Are there things that you guys thought about your journey that say, you know what, I'm hoping I can do this, and I hope I'll figure out this, but didn't really know how to do it? Is there anything like that?
Probably the biggest thing that I've had, I guess, a little hiccup in is actually captivating people and making it interesting, because finances, I mean, what teenagers really thinking, oh, that's something I need to be consistent or persistent with right now. That's not really. So that would probably be the biggest roadblock for me as of right now.
And that's a very good recognition right there that you identified, because Crystal and I can tell you the same thing. We work with a lot of adult entrepreneurs, and it's the same thing. They're not interested in finances. They don't want to learn anything about bookkeeping or anything like that.
Right,
so we gotta try to find creative ways of making it interesting to them. So what we try to do, we liken that to a relationship or a situation that they have in life that they really like to do. And then we weave in the financials in there and say, okay, picture this if you had to do this, but you need this to make it happen. How would you participate in this process? So those are things that will get them engaged and involved. Right, Crystal?
Yes, for sure. Winter, here's a good idea for you. Have you ever played the game Cash Flow?
My parents love that game. So
yeah, my family, we just played that game. And you can actually do some cash flow parties. Do virtual parties and invite your friends over. I mean, invite your friends into a Zoom kind of environment and create like a cash flow type environment, because that teaches you so much about investment and money, and then at that point you can incorporate. Then you have them captive, right? And then they can come next week to another seminar where you're actually breaking down how do you buy stock, how do you buy real estate, that kind of stuff. So that might be a good idea for you, and it would be fun and exciting as well.
That's a good example, Crystal. That's a very good example.
Yeah, my
How
family.
about you, Sanaa? How about you, Sanaa? Is
Oh,
there
me?
anything that, yeah, that poses a
Um,
challenge for you?
for me, I would say like I don't know how to like manufacture my company and like get it into stores and stuff like that. So
Oh,
that's what
very
I want to
good.
do. That's the goal.
Very
Right.
good.
So we will be
So,
bringing some individuals teaching you how to do, making, well, you know how to make up your product, but then making sure you understand the shelf life, how long the product has on the shelf, and pricing it, and then getting it to a store. So I actually know two young people who have products in the store. Maybe we can have them come in or have them do a virtual class with you, especially a young lady that's on the East Coast that has her product line in Target right now. So
so
we can.
Sanaa, I'm going to suggest several things to you. There is a lot more than that what I'm going to suggest, but these are some simple things that I think can work for you. Okay. The first thing that I want to recommend is I want you guys to watch Shark Tank. Watch Shark Tank religiously every week. It comes on Friday. As a matter of fact, tonight it's going to be on. So watch Shark Tank and you will get an idea how people who want to manufacture their products, what type of challenges they have and how the sharks recommend that they can overcome that. That's one way. Okay. The second thing I would recommend is go to Costco's and ask them. Ask the manager. Ask for the manager of Costco. I don't know what city you live in, but if you live near the Alhambra area, it's a nice black lady who's the manager over there. She's, she's very friendly. She's very friendly. So she'll answer your question. Ask her, how does one get their products into Costco's on the shelves? Because let's say you're selling hair care products. I don't know what is it you're going to sell, but you're going to need something manufactured. So ask her, how does one get their product into your store? And she'll tell you. One of the things that she'll tell you is about real estate. They consider the shelves that you're putting your products on is called real estate, right? That is very, very valuable. The businesses with the most money get the best shelf space in manufacturing. Okay. So
Mhm.
keep that in mind. She'll tell you that. And then just ask her a lot of questions or ask him a lot of questions regarding that. Okay. Now,
Okay.
the third thing I want to recommend is that you try to find a mentor, someone in the manufacturing space, and ask them if they can mentor you. Is it okay if you mentor me? And I'm a young entrepreneur and I really want to get into this business right here. And then they will tell you about some of the rules and regs and some of the policies, principles, and compliance requirements in the manufacturing space. So that will help to educate you a little. Those are just my recommendations. Crystal, do you have something you wanted to
Thank
add?
you.
No,
You're
just that
welcome.
those will be some of the workshops and classes, master classes that we will be having doing Biz Institute, is really how to take their businesses to the next level. But I want to tell you guys, we are so proud of both of you. And we look for Miss Rhonda and I look forward to continuing and helping you move your products and move your ideas and to keep you inspired. And you guys inspire us. So thank you so much for being on the show today. And you're so calm. Did you enjoy yourself being on a radio show?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
So I'm getting ready to blast this out, and it's going to be boosted on Facebook. And so my last show that I boosted on Facebook got 29,000 views in Africa
Wow.
and Los Angeles, all over the country. So everyone's going to see you guys talking about your business, and I'll make sure I'll forward over some of the comments that we get. But so thank
So
you so
since that's
much. And
since that's the case, Crystal, maybe
yeah,
we should have them. Maybe we should have them put their either website or something so people can access the website and look at their product or services. So, do you guys want to tell the audience about your website, how they can access it?
yeah, I can put that in the chat room. So what's your website?
I don't have a
Oh,
website at the moment.
you're on
Yeah, I'm still
Instagram, right?
working on mine.
Yeah, I'm still working on
Are
that.
you're both on Instagram?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so Winter, what is your Instagram account?
It's _winter INLA.
INLA.
Yes.
Okay. All right. That's your Instagram, her Instagram account. And then Sanaa.
Mine is let me see. I don't know by hand offhand.
Okay.
That's okay.
Well, and I will make sure that is listed on the when I put it on in the show. So what was it, sweetheart?
It's _
Okay.
It's dot Sanaa with 3 A's.
Sanaa with 3 A's.
It's that Sanaa. That's
Yes.
it.
It's dot
Okay.
Sanaa.
Yes, with 3 A's.
Okay. All righty.
Perfect.
So we will make sure that individuals go and you guys will, just chit chat with new people. But we are, again, we want to congratulate you on winning this year's competition, and we look forward
Thank
to
you.
Your future. I can't wait to see you guys 5, 10 years from now, and I'll be so proud, just like your moms and your dad, that I had a little part in this. So thank you guys. So we'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye. Thank you. And I'll make sure you get a copy of this, okay? All right, Gilbert. So that
was very good, Crystal. That was very nice. I'm so proud.
Awesome?
I am so proud. Yes, I am so proud. Because see, when you and I were growing up, Crystal, we didn't have any adults to coach us like that. Coach us and expose us to some of these things. It was just our parents, and our parents, they knew some stuff, but it was kind of limited.
Oh, they didn't have this at all. Yeah, and that's what most people say. That's what most people indicate, that they didn't have this. And what would any of our businesses have been like if we had the opportunity? Now, I'm probably in a little bit different because I had, entrepreneurial parents and grandparents and aunts and uncles, but the formal education, and I personally think that entrepreneurship should be taught in elementary school. Yes, and that should be building up to it. So by the time they get of age, they can actually have their businesses operating and running, and that would be, that would clarify so much more of their education, because now they have a vested interest in learning English and learning how to write and learning how to do math, because that's all part of business. And so the foundation would be kind of established already. So so proud of these young ladies. They did an awesome job.
I think it's phenomenal.
I know, huh? Yeah.
And so really what we're doing is we're helping them to develop the tools that they will need. Yes. This is the rewarding part of doing what we do as coaches. Yes. So they don't have to fall in the same trap like we did when we have to pay student loans and all of that, which really messed up our lives. Considering you still paying for that, huh? Yeah, I'm still paying, man. Like 20, 30 years later, I'm still paying. It's like, oh man. And just think, what you learned is obsolete in today's world, right? Exactly. But I still gotta pay for it. for your absolute education. Yeah. That is unbelievable, man. Unbelievable. It is. So, but yeah, I'm so excited for that. So we got a few more minutes. So I just wanted to talk about, Gilbert. I'm going to share a screen on a couple of other ballots that. So we're going to talk back with the, and because of these young people, this is why we have to have this conversation. Yeah. Is that there's some other ballots that's on the initiatives that are propositions, and one of them is Prop 20, and that is the one that Uber and Lyft and DoorDash are fighting for right now, because yesterday at 11:59, DoorDash and Uber was on their way out. Wow.
They were leaving the state of California because
Wow.
the proposition AB5, which talks about our and I'm gonna go right back here so I can get to it. So Prop 80 right here. Yeah. Prop 20, was it 20? About the Uber. It's 26, I think is what it is. Making sure that those individuals are not reclassed as employees and that they are what they are. They're independent contractors. So I was reading an article. When we start our business, we have a business model, and we go through all of the research to make sure that model works, right?
Yeah.
And in being an independent contractor is the beginning of self-employment. It is really helping you when you have a contract with someone, really helping you get on the ground floor of starting your own business. Because it gives you revenue coming in. You don't have to take loans if you have that type of business. And so a lot of the individuals that are working at Uber and Lyft back in 2008 or 2007, when we had our crash, our whatever you wanted to call it, depression, recession, whatever you wanted to call it. This was the only type of business or the only kind of work that some people could get.
Yeah.
At that time. And so they were able to take their cars, use them as a vehicle. I mean, there were standards to it so that they actually could pick up passengers. And for some of them, this became their business. This became their way of life. And so now they're asking Uber and Lyft to bring on these individuals as employees, and as well as all the benefits. So they're literally asking them to incur, I think it's $1.6 billion of additional expenses and outgoing their businesses.
So I'm thinking the reason they're asking them to do that is because they want to garner more payroll taxes from those organizations. Because otherwise, they wouldn't be getting payroll taxes if these are independent consultants. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
They would just be 1099s and they pay into the program, pay their federal taxes. But the state and others, I guess they want to get their cut out of it. So that's why they're talking about making them employees.
Right.
It's ridiculous. Because as we know, this is a gig economy. Things are changing. Yeah, things are changing. So, not too often do you have employees anymore. You got people doing gigs here. You may have 2 or 3 gigs in order to.
That's a whole industry cluster now.
Yeah.
The gig industry is a whole industry cluster.
Yeah, it is. And I just think that those folks who are trying to make this into a law, they're behind the times. They're dinosaurs. They don't get it. They need to change with the times.
Yeah, because when we talk about future businesses, we're talking automated grocery stores. We're talking automated self-driven trucks. All of those things that is moving forward into the future. And when we look at here, Uber and Lyft are in the car business, but they don't have cars, right?
Right.
But it's technology. Because that's where the future is going, with technology.
Yeah.
And so to come back with an antiquated rule or regulation, and it's so cut and dry, I think there are circumstances that, yes, the individual may be truly an entrepreneur, maybe an employee versus a independent contractor, but I don't think it's cut and dry. I don't think it's black and white. I think you need to look at the cases and see whether or not it fits in that category. There are some instances that it does not. If I'm using my car, I'm paying for my maintenance, and I can come on and off at will, that's an independent contractor.
Exactly. Now, are they paying them only mileage for this, or are they paying them for wear and tear on the vehicle also?
No wear and tear on the vehicle. They they absorb the insurance, they absorb everything.
See, that's ridiculous, man. So that's not really an employee. That's an independent contractor right there.
Contractor. And when you look at it, let's say that they do say that they are employees. Now, does that mean, so now that means Uber and Lyft have to provide the transportation. They have to provide the vehicles.
Exactly, because that's what employers do.
Right.
Employers
They have to
provide the
employ that
vehicle.
right. Like the taxi companies, they provide the
Yes,
vehicles, they provide for all the insurance, the
yes,
medallions, all of those things, because that is what a employer-based operation does.
exactly.
Independent contractor, I provide you with an opportunity. That's what I
Yeah,
do.
yeah. So I think they got this all messed up, and
Yeah.
somebody needs to. So that's what they're putting on the ballot. So we need to educate the people in the community so they understand what they're up against here.
Right. And then to support the individuals that, sometimes with Lyft, they don't have to have another job, but some of them, this is their second job. So they're not being paid enough in their primary job. So now they have a second gig job that is making the ends meet. That's feeding the family, paying for health insurance and things like that, because you wouldn't get that, because more than likely if they make them employees, they're going to make them 20-hour-a-week employees. So you're still not going to pay for any insurance.
Right. Exactly.
But both of those companies are saying, you know what? This is not our business model. So therefore, we're going to leave the state of California and we're going to go to a state that doesn't have these hindrances. And so now the city, and this is the part that I don't get, now all the taxes and stuff that you would be getting from these two corporations, you're no longer going to get, because you were trying to do something else. I don't even know what it is. I guess it's about greed, right?
Yeah, it is about greed. It is about greed, man. That is crazy.
So we will next week come back with, we'll continue to talk about the election and leading up to the election. Next week we have Gilbert. We have a legacy business owner coming in. They've been in the community, I want to say, for 45 plus years. It's a restaurant, and it's a third generation ran. They passed down the restaurant from generation to generation. So I'm excited about that. We have it's going to be the proprietors of the owners of Harold and Bell's. So Ryan and Jessica will be in next week and talk about their business. So been a great show, huh?
Oh, this has been wonderful. I always love the business zone every Friday. I just can't wait. I keep counting down the days. When Monday comes around, I keep counting down the days. When is Friday coming? Because I can't wait to do the business zone.
I know, me too. I'll be all excited. I'm all excited, and starting with the marketing. So looking forward to next week. I do want to send out condolences for Gwen Moore. She was a assembly woman in Los Angeles. She passed away.
No.
Yes, she passed away. Yes, Wednesday.
Oh no. Really?
Yeah. So she made some major.
COVID? Was it COVID?
No, I don't think it was COVID. I think it was. I don't know. I'm not sure what the details were. It was. She, I know she was up in age, so it could have been natural causes, or maybe it could have been COVID.
She has been a very instrumental figure in this community. She's a powerhouse, man.
Yes, she was. I know yesterday your Emma Maxey was on the community briefing, and she was just so broken up about it. She was a powerhouse in our community. It's just like all our greats: John Lewis, Elijah Cummings, Gwen Moore. It's just like wow.
I know. And see, Crystal, that's why you and I, man, we got to try to galvanize all these other trailblazers within the community and make sure that we put together programs that can benefit not only us, but also the ones coming behind us, like those kids that we just had on the program, to make people know that, hey, it takes a village, and we've got the village here. We're going to make things happen. No longer do we want to be that dinosaurs stage where we're doing things because that's how they used to do it. No, we got to do things differently.
We have to be progressive. Basically, Gilbert, we have to be thriving. We have to no longer be just surviving. We need to thrive. And so that's what we want to do. So guys, we've come to the end of our hour. We want to thank you guys for participating with us, for coming out. Make sure you tell your friends. And most importantly, please head on over to our subscribe to our YouTube channel, hit the button so that you'll get notification next week when we go live.
And subscribe, hit that bell, that subscription bell, and subscribe. And you don't only have to be the only person subscribing. Tell your friends, your family, your other small businesses, because the services Crystal and I are providing on this program is really beneficial to all small businesses, all entrepreneurs, all independent contractors and consultants. So you guys, please go ahead, support us so we can support you as well.
All righty. Yes. Rah. And remember, we're 73 days from the election.
put the clock up again, Crystal. Put that clock
You
up
like
again.
the clock, huh?
Yeah. Put that clock up again.
There we go.
73 days and 8 hours.
Let me put it. Wait a minute. Did it not? Wait a minute. Let me get it back up before we leave. We got to put the clock back up. My new favorite toy, the clock.
Right. Put that
73
clock
days,
up there.
7 hours, 54 minutes, and 14 seconds until Tuesday, November 3rd, 2020.
And make sure your name is on the registration list. Make sure you're registered. If you're not registered, start doing your paperwork now to get registered to vote. We're not gonna wait. We're not gonna wait till the last week. We're gonna vote now.
Right. 73 days. So if you start right now, before 73 days, you will be all registered and ready to vote.
That's right. So on behalf of the Business Zone, Crystal Mitchell and I, Gilbert Buchanan, your small business paramedic, would like to thank you for tuning in. So you're listening to the Business Zone with
Crystal
and Gilbert Buchanan, your small business paramedic. Tuning in again next Friday at 3 o'clock, and we'll have much more information for you and your small business. Take you guys out of COVID. Take you to the next level.
All righty. So we'll see you guys next week. Stay safe. Keep your mask on so we can go back to regular life.
We're out.
As a small biz pro, so we roll, using procurement, program, and control. As a small biz pro, so we grow, using procurement, program, and control. I'm a businessman, yes, I'm an entrepreneur.